Hey guys, welcome to Wrestling Daze and welcome to this NXT review and opinions video. So, seems like you lot weren't blown away with this show. I've just seen the score that you've given it so far in our poll, and it's not brilliant. We'll get to that at the end of the video, but also your match scores were not brilliant either. So, Lola against Kelani, you said was good 98%, and I think that was the highest score in match actually. Cedric against Ethan was good 95%. Lash Legend and Jakara against Kayden and Katana against Shotzi and Gigi, that was good 94%. So Ruca against Izzi was good 96%. And then the six-man tag match, Hank, Tank, Andre Chase against Tyson, Tyriek and Wesley, that got good 94%. So the in-ring very much let in this show down. Lots of confusing moving parts. I mean, the whole Kelani, Lola, Stephanie, Cora, thankfully they're just chucking them all into one match, so I'm kind of down for that. But yeah, all of that is just messy in my book. It's just messy. The whole Lexis King thing, very frustrating. I really don't see why we're taking that cup off of him. Nowhere have they ever mentioned that the cup can't change hands by DQ. All of a sudden now he wins, he gets handed the cup, so it seems like the officials weren't aware of that rule. So he gets handed the cup, he gets spoken to about being the holder of it in interviews and things, and then a week later they take it off him. Like, why didn't you just leave it on him and have him defend it next week, but he can stay as champion? I mean, I really don't get that. So that to me is also a bit like, I wouldn't have done that, to be honest. And then really other than that, there wasn't loads of stuff, but we did get the awards. So the awards for me are a little bit confusing. I sort of feel like Fraxium winning tag team, absolutely agree. Roxanne winning best female, absolutely agree. Stand and Deliver winning, I would have gone Deadline, but Stand and Deliver would probably be my number 2. Then we had Obafemi winning the men's is okay. I mean, who doesn't love Obafemi, but over Trick Williams. I mean, Trick Williams was nominated for Match of the Year, which he didn't win, and he won the NXT Championship twice, and, people are going crazy for him whenever he comes out. He's arguably their biggest star at the moment, certainly in the men's division, so, yeah, I don't know, look, the fans voted. I was just surprised that it wasn't Trick Williams that picked up the awards. Then, of course, we had Match of the Year, which is Oba against Dijak against Josh Briggs. Don't have any issue with that, really. It's not what I voted for. I thought the Women's Iron Survivor was better. But, the triple threat was still awesome. But Joe Hendry moment of the year. I could think of at least 5 moments, 6 moments, 7 moments, 10 moments that I preferred over that. I mean, I'm not a big Joe Hendry fan anyway. So perhaps it's just not for me. But, just not for me. I mean, Trick Williams winning that championship. I'm not going to keep going on about it. Clearly, Joe Hendry has got his fans. I'm just not one of them. So, that's kind of what that is. So, yeah, I don't know. There was nothing here that, massively picked me up. I mean, we even had that Shotzi botch, didn't we, during the match, which wasn't a problem. But this is a new group, and, they're, trying new stuff. Last thing we need is Shotzi doing a move like that, doing it wrong and getting injured. Thankfully, she didn't get injured, but could you imagine if she had? Could you imagine if she was now back on the shelf, having done her knee in for, the next 6 months? So, yeah, I don't know. This just felt very much like a go-home show. It felt like a bit of a flat show. I'm probably about a 5. I mean, there really wasn't much here to get excited about, to be honest. Plus, add in the fact I was having to watch it on YouTube. I was out of sync with America. I mean, really, it was not the best way to start 2025, I'm not going to lie. So, not crazy about this show. What we'll do, though, is let's just have a look. We'll look at the scores now because I know I sound like a moaning boomer, and that's because I am. But you lot really feeling the same? I mean, 157 votes, and it's coming out with a good, okay rating. There is a chunk of people that said it was great, but 58% goods is where this is going to land by the looks of it. So seems like you lot weren't thrilled with this episode either. I mean, look, in comparison to what Raw did, you know, Raw getting 63% great, you can see that this was a big step down on where we were for Raw. So that was the poll. I thought we'd just go to that now. Let's get rid of those scores and let's whoosh over your comments and we'll see what you lot had to say, right? So Abyss said it was good matches. The award segments could have been done on a separate show. That would have been fun. To be honest, I think that that could have been fun. Or even if the awards had been done maybe in their own segment during this show rather than just kind of dotted throughout. I don't know. Yeah, they never even announced who the winner of the men's award was. And that was head-scratching as well, wasn't it? Turned out to be Oba. But they never actually said during NXT that it was Oba. So unless you went onto social media afterwards, you wouldn't have known that Oba was the actual winner of that awards. Richard said, no one didn't win the NXT male. Exactly. We need a better look to see who won it. So, yeah, there's an example with Richard going, who won? Who won the men's awards? It was Obafemi. Nails and NY, shout out to you, my friend, said, it's a big smile from me. 10 out of 10. Happy New Year. Happy New Year to you as well, buds. So, Nails and NY, an absolutely humongous Ethan Page fan. So, really enjoying this new direction for Ethan Page. And to be honest with you, I'm really glad they're keeping this up because I thought the attack on Javon was done really, really well. And this was done really, really well as well. And if they are going to try and make Ethan stand out this way by having him like turn up the aggression, turn up the intensity, I think that's kind of interesting. And it's going to set up for a very interesting 2025. Chris said the Oba heel turn was great. I think Oba's been a heel for a while, but to be honest, I don't think Oba's just been no nonsense, hasn't he, really, all along? So, I think that that triple threat match next week's going to be a lot of fun. I do still wish it was just Oba versus Trick Williams, though, to be honest. I wish that Eddie wasn't in the match. Does make me think that he's in the match because he's going to be the one that gets pinned, though. So maybe Oba pins Eddie, becomes the new champion, and then we do the rematch, and that's when we get the one-on-one match. But if that's the way it goes, I don't feel brilliant for Trick, because I think once he loses that title, it's going to be very hard to see him winning it back, because I don't think he's too far away from going to the main roster, and I can't see him winning it back for a third time this close to, or as we get closer to WrestleMania. So yeah, lots to digest with that. Space Fam said, Happy New Year. Happy New Year to you as well, my friends. Nick Butcher said, NXT was okay. I had to stop halfway through. My internet was crashing, so I missed half of it. Well, honestly, of all of the episodes to miss, this probably was the one that you shouldn't worry too much about. Brendan says Obafemi won. He did. You are correct. Wrestling fan since day one said NXT was good. I'm going to give it a 7. Can't wait to see what's in store for NXT in 2025. Happy New Year, Daze. I'm sorry you lost your child. Thank you. That'll make no sense unless people were watching the live stream. See you Friday. See you Friday, buds. The Chiefs family said, I scored the last NXT of 2024 a great 8.5. Chris said, hello, Daze. Hello, Chris. So for a go-home show, it wasn't bad. 6.75. Matches were good. Segments good. Glad that All Ego is back to being the best heel in NXT. Not trying to make us care about him after a few silly losses. I completely agree with that. Happy New Year to you and all the boomers out there. Yeah, it's a really good point. That whole trying to care about him after a couple of losses and him feeling down, just never bought into that. Never bought into that. So now getting that nonsense out the way and kind of doing what we're doing now, I agree, is much, much better. Right, James said, I forgot NXT was happening today. Oh. Raymond said, Daze, I thought NXT tonight was good. I give it a solid 8.5. Matches were good. I thought it was entertaining, to say the least. The other it was good. Shout out to you. Happy New Year. Same to you, Raymond. Ryder said it was an easy watch. Did its job summarising NXT in 2024 and advancing some angles. Overall, 6.75 for a taped show on New Year's Eve. Brady said, it's always amazing to see Tate and Paxley in NXT. Can't wait for the 6-woman tag next week. I'm sad that Soul lost. I hope Oba wins next week. John Elite said, I enjoyed NXT tonight. Looking forward to New Year's Evil next week. Kelani officially a heel? No, but very much leaning that way. I think Izzi will eventually join Sean Spears, who actually won Male Superstar of the Year. I'm sure you know by now it was Oba Femi. And then John just a bit confused as to why we were out of sync with people in the UK. Of course, as I said, I was pausing. I did say that during the watch long. I was pausing so that we were in line with people in America who obviously were watching on the CW network. So, yeah, that probably affected my score. It probably affected my score. The fact that I kept having to pause and ask people, when are you back? And then people going, right, I'm back now. And then I'm having to put, it just took me completely out of it. So, yeah, my score is pretty low. It's not a bad show. It's a watchable show. It's a below average. I'd say below average. This felt like a below average show. But it was still passable. But had I, been able to watch it normally, not having to pause and, try and sync up, maybe my score would be better. That's it. It's done. Not a show I will ever revisit. It's all about next week. And who's not excited for next week? First Raw on Netflix, plus New Year's Evil the next day, plus we don't know when this transfer window opens. Guessing it's going to be Monday, which means there'll be repercussions for all 3 shows, right? Honestly, we could see Trick lose the title and then get moved up in the transfer window. That is absolutely possible. So, yeah, this is obviously very, very exciting. Very, very exciting. So, we just got one more show to go. We've just got SmackDown to go. And once that's done, then we enter a brave new world. I know we're in 2025 now, and obviously Happy New Year, but it really feels like we don't really enter the new year from a wrestling point of view until we get past Friday. So just one more show to go. One more show to go. And then everything's about to go bananas. So, yeah, awesome. I hope you had a great evening wherever you are. Big shout out if you did join us. Obviously, live stream wise, we will be back for the members on Thursday. We will be back on Friday. And as we said, things are about to get very exciting. Bye for now.